We are live.
Oh, everything's working, Iggy.
Yeah.
Everything worked. Now,
And
people-
Bob the Cool's out of this world by the look of it.
yeah, mate, let me tell you, I felt a little bit out of this world earlier this week with Rona 2.0. It wasn't fun. No. Son tested positive Saturday night, which was like literally my parents had left only a couple of hours before that.
Yep.
My brother's sort of immune compromised, and I was like, no, I'm like, oh crap, like this is. So I got straight on the phone. I said, hey, you need to start testing because this is what's happened. I said, Gabe's actually come up positive tonight. So thankfully, touch wood, pray to the universe, God, Buddha, whatever you have to. But thankfully, they have so far come up negative, and I'm hoping that. So they've done their 5 days, so they're pretty should be right. I think I think they're pretty lucky because what they did was they had their third injection, their third immunisation only about 3-4 weeks ago.
Yep.
So I think like they're at the peak of resistance. So I think they were lucky. Realistically, my dad spent the most time with my brother, with Gabe, because he was playing with him and stuff. So he was the one I was really worried about. But no, Mum said no, they've tested, and my brother's even been PCR tested at the hospital, and they've said no, he's negative. It's all good. You're safe. Looks like you've sort of not caught it this time. So pretty thankful for that. I mean, I'm a big boy. Just sook a little and have the man flu type symptoms and lay around. But I mean, just realistically, you take Panadol for pain, you drink lots of fluid, make sure you eat. This time round certainly didn't feel as bad as the first time, but my wife this time there was no escaping. She was the second one to fall. Actually, I was the last one standing until so. Gabe came up on Saturday. She came up on Sunday. And I came up on Monday night. And I said to her, oh, look, I did a proper COVID test. I said I wasn't trying to shove that stick into my brain. Because she kept testing me and like, I think she thought, I'm like, hey, lady, if you want the insurance money, just tell me. I can disappear. You don't have to, stick one of these things through my brain, okay? Just relax. So, when I tested myself, on the Monday night. Little line, one red line came up straight away, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happened with the other two. And the third one comes up, and then the second one slowly comes up, and you're like, yeah, there it is. In our case, they were pretty faint. They were faint, but very clearly there.
Yep.
So, but probably over the worst of it for myself. Amelia's still pretty coughy, and I think she's gonna cop what I copped the first time, and that is the constantly tired, coughing, not feeling well. So,
Do you think it could be like that because this is her first time, or?
Yeah. Usually, I think the first time, if you cop it the first, look, it varies from person to person. She'd been having some issues with asthma for the last fortnight, and to the point where she actually went to the doctor and said, look, I'm really kind of struggling. So anyway, she's come out the other end. Thankfully, sort of kept a fairly close eye on her as much as I could because I wasn't crash on either. But yeah, but she's all right. She's downstairs watching Neighbours. Did you know final episode tonight, mate?
I was actually watching. I did watch the first half an hour, and then I was like, got to 8 o'clock, and I thought I better.
Literally, I've walked up and seen your message and gone, oh, and that's what I was doing. I was downstairs watching Neighbours, and she's going, oh, do you remember that chick? She had a really funny laugh. And I'm like, and then it was the one that went, and I'm like, oh, God, yeah, I remember her. I won't repeat what
That's
I said.
like, in the Fortnite chat we got, there was, who was it? Turtle was talking about watching the Roosters and Seagulls game. I said, I was like, as if you're not watching the Neighbours finale.
You liar. I know no one's going to watch They're like, bugger the Jersey controversy.
I,
We'll
I,
just watch Neighbours.
I even tried to get it up now as well, but you can't watch it online without signing in. So I was like, oh well, I just have to watch it later, which I probably won't even watch it. But
Yeah. No, look, it's a bit of a icon of.
yeah, it is.
You know, I mean,
37 years. Like I know I grew up with it as a kid. And...
Yeah, because that's what Millie said. She said, "Oh, did you ever watch it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I remember." It was like I remember when it started on Channel 7. This is how old I am. And then it moved to Channel 10.
Yeah.
And because it started on Channel 7 and went, I think, for a season or two, and then they went, "Nah, we're done with it." And Channel 10 said, "Yeah, we'll take it." And then, and I'm surprised I saw a number of people on there that I wasn't expecting. Like Holly Valance came on, like she was in it, and I was like,
I didn't see her come.
She was just on about 10 minutes ago.
I saw Nat Bass, and then there was talk like Robert Mills and that, and they said that they're going to get Margot Robbie to come on, but I think she's on like a Zoom thing. She must be like a Zoom call into it.
No, I read a story she rocked up with like 37 bottles of champagne.
Oh.
Yeah, like to celebrate the end of the show and to fill the cast. Said, hey, let's do this properly. So no, I think she's literally, I think she's rocked up. And, because I was saying to my wife, I said, geez, Holly Valance is a bit of a strange one, because I said, she's married to a guy who's got some serious fuck off money. Like he's not like a million. Like he's up there with Bezos, and I think his dad is, but he's a very wealthy man. Like she had zero need to come back, but it's good. It's I feel a little bit sorry for Craig McLachlan.
Yep.
They didn't have him back, but obviously he's had some issues. And I think it's a bit rich when the acting fraternity turns around and goes to someone, you've been naughty. Look, the guy's a creep. Let's not kid ourselves. But is he the only one? Probably not. And that's that's the industry. And I think anyone who gets in that industry thinking it's a wholesome industry is delusional, to put it politely. Probably indulging in the same substances that most of these young actors do. How dare you besmirch us? Anyway, but enough of Neighbours. So, you been following any tech news or anything yourself?
Not overly, no. Not in the past few weeks. What was that? I did have a look at some of the sales and that your Click Frenzy was on. Actually, I should remind the wife about those earphones.
Yeah, they are really good. If she's looking for some, and they're noise cancelling.
Well, no, they're for me, because she's actually got AirPods. I'm like, oh, Father's Day's coming up.
Okay, so what you need to say to her is they're AirPods without the price tag.
Yeah.
Effectively, that's what they are. Like, they're noise cancelling. They've got really nice bass on them too. But yeah, for listening, like, look, would you game on them? I reckon on a mobile device you could game on them actually quite well. Yep. But yeah, like you wouldn't use them on PC gaming or something. But look, they're very good for what they are. And like the case is really nice. You get the little Knight Rider stripe going across when it's charging. Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting because we had Prime Day happen in between the show as well, and we were both a little underwhelmed, weren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, I bought. Make sure little fella's not listening, because technically he bought them. But yeah, I bought myself 2 Knight Rider cars, and they were a little bit on special, nothing spectacular. Yep. But yeah, I basically bought some powerboard cradles that you didn't screw into the desk. You just did them with a clamp.
Yep. So
I bought 2 packs of those. What else did I buy? Oh, and some glass cleaners. They were really good special on them. Like there was a box of, like for $17, there was a box of 100, which is pretty cheap for those ones. They were a brand that, like when I go to the chemist, they're $5 for a pack of 20. So you get 100 for $12. I was like, it's a bargain. But yeah, none of the PC hardware or anything. There was only one that tempted me. It was an X570S Master motherboard, which
Yep.
was $499, and that's hovered around that 539 mark for yonks. And when I saw it drop, I was like, ooh, I know, I just can't justify it. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with the motherboards I got. I'd just be pulling everything apart for the sake of doing it.
Yep.
So, yeah. But yeah, there was really nothing that was, it really was a shit we can't get rid of sale. There was nothing really I found really exciting that you go, oh my god. Because, you know, it just, and it happened, I think, last year too, if I remember right, Eggy, where the end of financial year sales were better for many things than what the Prime Day sales were.
Yep.
I don't know. Did you kind of find that? Because I don't know. I watched a couple of things and was like, oh shit, I'm sure that was cheaper before in the financial year.
But I didn't notice anything except for like this weekend's one when I was asking you about those earphones the other day and they were 185 and then you put them through again. I was like, holy shit, they come down $80.
Yeah, like they're $20 cheaper than what I got them. Look, I got them for $129, and I thought, shit, that's a pretty good price for those. And it's on for $109 on Click Frenzy at Seneca. I'm like, shit. Like, obviously, they've got a few of these, so they're trying to just move them along. But I thought, for $109, absolutely jump on that. But also, you know, sort of that well, it's not only Senecom. A couple of the brands have also got those 5700Xs at really good prices. Like around that 369, 379 mark.
Yep.
You know, and that's bloody good value. Like it's 8 cores, 12 threads, like, you know, like if you want to game and stream at the same time, you'd probably find bueno, my friend. Because have you got 2 PCs that you run or just the one?
Just one at the moment, yeah.
I mean, you've got enough bits though to put another one together, haven't you?
Yeah, like a media, like a low one, but not
That's what I'm saying. Something that would take the load off the gaming PC that you can game on it, and stream off the other PC.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could do that.
Yeah, because it was interesting. Like Hardware Unboxers done recently did some extensive testing around. Oh, what about if you're gaming and streaming and you got Discord and this sort of how, you know, at what point does a 5600X not, or 5600, you know, not have enough grunt? And it was really amazing that, like, they had 6950X GPU.
Yep.
So, like, the greatest AMD's got, and they were playing games, and they tested between, and they had a 6600, so they had the top end, and then they had like the entry level gaming card, and those 6600s are at the moment are $500. You can pick them up for.
Yep.
And they were showing, like, yeah, there's a difference in frame rates obviously because they're different cards, but they were showing the CPU made very little difference.
Oh.
And, you know, and they were still saying, look, you know what, if you're going to stream and everything, look, you do a dual setup, which I was a little bit surprised about. I was a bit
having
surprised.
having a bigger CPU and they still want you to dual.
Yeah, like I thought, oh, so hold on, I've got a 5950X, surely that will like just happily. And they're like, yeah, it will, but it's going to hit your frame rates. Like, you're trying to do, and I kind of get it too.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, you're starting to, you know, you're streaming video, so you're putting some strain on, you know, your graphics card or your CPU, and
even just having like the graphics card, like instead of having one output, instead of having three outputs that are on there setting up for your multi screens. Like, even that's going to put some power on you. I like some wear onto your GPU, like to your frame rates and that. Having the extra monitors going.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, that yeah, when you got two monitors going, it you know, you're trying to your graphics card's trying to do multiple things at the same time.
Yeah.
And
The,
so
the,
is your CPU, but yeah, it was interesting. They were like, it doesn't make it that much of a difference.
the problem I'd have, I'd mix up, which I suppose my gaming PC, I only need to touch it once, and because I always use controller, so still stuck on the controller.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just bringing up. Sorry, I'll bring it up live on stream. Just what are we doing? Here we go. So what are we using from a CPU perspective here? I mean, this is a 12700K, so this isn't. Sorry, I'll take that back. This is an 11700K,
Yeah.
not a 11700K. And yeah, look, I mean, look, I'm looking at this, and
I'll say, so you still got the two PCs set up. So I know
Yeah,
your
yeah.
wife was. So the wife just comes in and plays with it when she wants to. Well, she hasn't touched it yet. She told you to keep it. But
I just think she was like, I've done this dance before. It will take him a month before he goes, hey, honey, you know that PC I sold? And she's just like, nah, I'm not playing that dance again. I know what you're up to. And she's probably not wrong. She's not wrong, let's be honest. I'd be like, 13th gen's coming out. But yeah, like, nah, look. I have to admit, I did look at some different cases and stuff like that, and then I just looked at it and I just kind of took a step back and I just thought, you know what, with the way the world's going with economies and stuff like that, I thought, you know what, I might just put that in my, just leave that money in my pocket for now and see how we go from there.
Yeah.
But what do we got? But yeah, like, I mean, looking here, like CP processor, you take a look. I mean, what are you using? You're using 8%, 11% at max, but it's currently running at like 8, and depending on the core. And I mean, that's running at 4.9 megahertz. That chip, not quite 5. Tried 5 and I won't go there. But yeah, but 4.95 is just an arbitrary number, really. But yeah, you know, this runs fine. I've played games. I've played Fortnite on it. Happy days.
Yeah.
You know, it's got the 3080 in it. Goes gangbusters. You know, it's got no issues doing that. But yeah, but crypto seems to have things that aren't maybe going gangbusters, but have kind of leveled off a little bit. Crypto
Yeah, they have a bit like
it's kind of steadied, like it hasn't, you know, continued its free fall.
Well, I
sort of thing.
think there was talk about the Ethereum 2.0 was coming into play soon. So that was sitting around 1800 last week or the week before, and now I think it actually hit 1500 around the mid-July, and now it's up to 2,400.
Yeah, where are we? Ethereum price. What do we got here?
Same with like
Solana. Bitcoin.
It was sitting around just under $50, and now it's close to 60.
Yeah.
So across the market, everything seems to be up around 7% for the day.
US. I'm going to go USD prices here because I've been following most of it in US. Yeah, so Bitcoin's slowly come back up.
Yep.
Which is, you know, I mean,
what's it in USD? Because I know in AUD it's 33.5 at the moment.
So it's just under 23, 22,997, and I remember it got to like 18 USD. So I got low. It got below that 20,000 threshold.
I should actually have a look and see what USDC is $1.45. I don't remember when we first, like last year, it was around the $1.25, and then I think it got up to around the $1.30. But obviously, yeah, the US dollar's sitting around $1.45 straight AUD at the moment.
So what's the Ethereum, Ether, or is it Ethereum Classic?
That's the old one. That's like the original one, and then they forked that to make the better one.
So what's that one called?
the old one's called Ethereum Classic, the new one's called Ethereum. And then there's going to be there'll probably be a new one again, but I think that might just be the same Ethereum. They're just it's not a fault. Well, it could be a hard fault, isn't it? Actually,
yeah, because they've got Ether. Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, there it is. That must be it. Oh yeah, ETH. There you go. Yeah. So in USD, it got as low as I remember. It got as low as in USD. It got as low as
close to $1,000.
$1,000. Yeah, like I think it cracked under 1,000, and that's when I think people really started to panic, going, "Shit, this isn't good. Like this could." But then it seemed to have steadied off, and looks like today it's making a loss, but under 1%. So it's at 1,600 US. So
yeah.
You know that. Look, it'll be. I think there's a real, power struggle about what future currency we're going to have. Is it going to be these government-controlled currencies? But like I think you and I have said in the past, it really depends on how much regulation, how confident people are in that they're not going to get fleeced out of their money. And that's going to be the difficult part. Because, people forget, at one point we went, we used to give each other, a piece of gold coin or a bronze coin or, it wasn't like and the current money system involving dollars and all that. Like even Australia was in British currency. It didn't go to decimal currency until the 50s, 54, 55. There we go. When did Australia change to dollars? 14th of February, 1966. So you think about it, it's a long time now, but that's only 10 years before I was born.
Yep.
That it was around. People, started talking about dollars and cents, sort of the decimal currency. So, it took a long time for that to happen. When did... Okay. Wow. So, and this is, I think, here's a bit of bad news for our good old mates in crypto world. That change doesn't happen quick. So England had used coins, and then the pound notes didn't start till 1694.
Yeah.
They haven't changed. That is roughly 400, what is it, about 350 years, just give or take. So I think anyone who's got this belief, crypto's here, it's going to change any day, I think, yeah. No, it's not. It's not. It's brand new. It's not going to change quickly. And I think a lot of it's going to have to do around that security issue. Because currency will change if it's not secure, if it's not regulatable, and a lot of these banks, as technology would have advanced, they would have got away from coins because people would have figured out how to get the materials to make fake coins out of lead and bullshit stuff that, they were fake currency. Whereas if you think about now, especially Australian currency is very, virtually impossible to fake, to have forged money. And with crypto, there's just too many instances where suddenly, we got hacked and we lost all the money.
Yeah.
It's like, really? You got hacked. It was on the way up and you got hacked. Oh, now it's on the way down. Oh, here's your money back. Sorry. it's at the current rate, not the old rate. So you take. Oh, sorry, you're going to make a loss on that. Yeah, it just. And I think that's the problem. It's not transparent. I don't think. Or it may be transparent, but it's not as like there's no regulatory body that tries to ensure.
It's not safe. Like they keep changing forks and stuff like that, and
yeah, it's very
If they're trying to decentralize it, but everything's still like not 80% centralized. Like going to an exchange to sell it, or holding your funds on the exchange. If the exchange goes under, you lose all your money, or like that the Luna fiasco.
Talk about that. What happened with that? I don't know much about it.
I can't remember now. Like there was something about how they knew by selling something it'd make more of the. I have to look it up. I'll come back to you next week when I dive deep more into it.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, that's all right. There's a bit of a short story here. Price of popular currency Luna fell to almost zero on Thursday. Right now, two coins, Terra Luna and Terra UST, are the most talked about on the internet. To understand that, you need to first understand the Luna UST exchange. Oh, okay.
It's a bit of a rabbit hole once you dive down.
Yeah, it is a bit of a rabbit hole once you
branched off into 5 different directions.
Yeah. Was that the one that was meant to be tied into the US dollar?
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
And where it was meant to, if the US dollar went up, it went up. If the US dollar went down, it went down. But it was meant to keep on parity with it.
And the Luna was meant to, as you buy the UST, it'd sell off the Luna coin, and then as you it was like a way that it was meant to fluctuate with the US dollar, but then because everyone dumped it so quickly, it couldn't keep up with it or something.
And that's the thing. That's when I think
I think when I read into it, like if someone had $10 million or something, they could use that $10 million to move that market so much, and they end up making like $600 million off it, or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So they learned how they could short Bitcoin, because they knew if they sold the Bitcoin that it would dump that price or something. It was like 3 different things that it did. Like buying that coin would make them sell off their Bitcoin, which you knew the market was dropping, so you make money on that. Plus you make money on the coin going up and going down, stuff like that.
That's the problem, isn't it? That easy manipulation, which, look, let's be honest, that happens in the stock market all the time. But you need to have billions.
Yeah, but like with this, you only need millions.
Yeah. Like this is a much easier way to do it. It's interesting. I'm just having a quick look at this article. And they also talk about things like Ronin, Poly Network. Is a platform in the decentralized finance or DeFi space, and was hit by a major attack in 2021, and 600 million was stolen. But see, this is what I find interesting. That's based on that value at the time, and I'm like, what do you mean it was stolen? It's not like they can, like, where's it gone? It's meant to be traceable, like the blockchain's meant to be transparent.
Yeah.
So you can actually follow the money.
But there are like there are programs now that can sort of
mask it.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called now. But there was, like, if you're trying to get, like, it'll swap it to one coin, then it'll swap it to another coin, it'll swap it to about 10 different coins and come back to you.
So it was pretty hard to then follow the blockchain, because then it becomes pretty disjointed. Yeah. Look. Yeah. And that's the thing, like
just like the IP addresses, like say you're being hacked, and then it'd take you to 5 different other computers before it took you to to the one that was hacking you. They're going to send you all around the world. You know, when you watch the movies and that.
Yeah. Where they do a clone IP and they're
Yeah.
just cloning thousands of IPs, that it makes it almost, you know, like, unless you've got, you know, you're a government agency with 3 letters, even in Australia, you can't. It's very difficult to get caught. But I think what people need to be mindful of, whilst it sounds cool in movies, it's a lot of shitload of jail time.
Yeah.
If you get caught, you know. People I don't think understand, you know, what some of the fairly serious penalties are for cybercrimes in Australia, and you know, just ask Julian Assange. I mean, the guy didn't even perpetrate the crime; like, he was given that information, and you know, even though it all proved to be factually correct, it wasn't bullshit, and the world didn't go and turn around to the US and go, yeah, we're done. But, you know, China done the same thing. It's like, oh, that's war.
Yeah.
So, you know, and that's why I always say to people, don't get too caught up in all these, oh, who's the good guy, who's the bad guy discussions, because there is none. It just, what are you willing to give up to be comfortable in life? How much are you willing not to care about what's happening to someone else? So, you know, it's that's a whole different rabbit hole. But yeah, no, but with crypto, I think that's the problem. Is I think it's just too easily manipulated. Is the problem. But
so Neil and Blommy has just messaged into the flipping Spuds Twitch, and he says, don't get up to watch the sunrise. Get up earlier and let it watch you rise.
I like it. A man with itchy finger, with itchy bum, wakes up with smelly finger. But yeah, actually, I'm not in. Let me go and actually, oops, that's not the one I want, is it? Dingbrain. Oh, there we go. That's the one we want. Let's.
What games have you been playing lately?
I was going to say. Oh, you just beat me to it. I have been playing nothing. I've been playing the Corona I Feel Shit game. So, into the... Sorry, I've got to enter this now. And I will... What about yourself, mate? Do you want to just talk while I grab my Twitch tag in?
Yep. I was playing a bit of Fortnite. Since Benry got back, I was playing it. I did over the last couple of nights try a couple of solo runs, but I find it, I must like the social aspect of it. Like I'll sit there all night and play squads with everyone, but then as soon as I play solos, I'll play like 1 or 2 games and I get over it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit the same.
It's a guy on the right who looks like the dad of American Pie. Explain this stream to me.
So, well, the stream. What do we talk? We talk about gaming. We talk about crypto. We talk about technology, new hardware that PC, some used hardware, some new hardware that's coming out, is what we're all about, Neil. So we try and have a bit of a laugh and not take ourselves too seriously. But thank you, the guy from American Pie. I'm not sure which one I look like.
You know, I forget them. You know, Jim's dad. You know.
Oh. Eugene Levy. And the only reason I know Eugene Levy is he did a very, very clever ad for Nissan, which he was in, and he was very funny in it. But yes, besides the eyebrows, I certainly don't have the talent. So I think it's a bit of a disservice to poor Eugene doing that. But yeah, so basically, Neil, we talk about gaming, PCs, a bit of crypto. Thanks, John Oliver. That I'll take. That I can kind of get a little bit. Neil, thanks for coming on board, brother. Thanks for watching. We really appreciate you.
What's the John Oliver explanation? Can you explain that to me?
Oh, look up, mate. Go and look up the photo of John Oliver, and I don't think I look a lot like him, but I mean the glasses are a little bit John Oliver-esque. John Oliver. Very funny guy. Very clever.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
Yeah, very clever satirist. You know, who's look, I think people either like him or not. There he is. That's good old John. Look,
And we are Australian based. How about yourself, Neil?
yeah. Where are you from? Watching us from, brother? Where are we? I'll just make sure. Oh, did I just shut that? I did.
But yeah, since that night we did the flashback and we're playing the retro games like Street Rod and that. I did have a little go at Dope Wars as well, like a blast from the past.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
Well, let me just say, I have not watched. I didn't do Dope Wars, but I did buy Soldier of Fortune, which I still haven't had a chance to actually jump on and play. Is very much. Oh, how would you describe Soldier of Fortune? It was kind of COD, but the poor man's COD, maybe. Oh, Neil's from WA. Oh, mate,
Nice.
love WA.
I might have to leave you for a second. I can hear a little girl crying in the background.
No, mate, you go for it. You go for it. Yep. So, yeah, Neil, I've got some friends up in WA. I talk to quite often, mate. A lovely part of the world. So, while Iggy goes and looks after his mates, so some other stuff that's been coming out, AMD and Intel, they're about to release some new CPUs. A lot of rumours coming around that it's going to be a very, very, very close fight between those two from a CPU perspective. But unlike Intel, AMD is going to release their new motherboards only with DDR5. DDR5 RAM is expensive at the moment. It's coming down. I have seen some interestingly low prices out there. Places like Shopping Express, BPC Tech, have had some good deals. Very basic, nothing like no RGB, no nothing. Very basic type RAM. So if you need a whole setup, if you're doing a brand new system, it might be worth doing. 32 gigs will set you back about $250. Here he is, he's back. Yeah, I was just talking about some what's happening with AMD and Intel and how they're going to drop some CPUs soon, hopefully in the next month or two. Yep. So that they're not far off, but
see, I'm a bit slow on the tech lately, so I have to start diving back into it.
Well, the biggest issue with AMD at the moment is the fact that I think the next platform they're going to do is it goes away from the AM4 socket. It's a whole new socket, and it's going to be like an LGA socket like Intel's, where the pins for the pins for the CPU are not on the CPU anymore. They're going to be on the motherboard. The other problem you've got is it's going to only be DDR5. So, look, I mean, I did see some specials on Shopping Express where they've been selling DDR5 RAM for reasonably good prices around that the 32 gigs. But then I've seen I've seen DDR4 RAM 32 gig kits currently going for well under $200, and I was just like, damn, that's cheap. It's been a long time since I've seen that. But let's go back to gaming.
Yep.
Shift years back. So you played. How was Dope Wars?
Yeah, it was alright. I kept dying when I come up against Officer Hardass. I had to start again, and then it was a bit different, but I remember.
Yeah, I've grabbed I've actually got Ghostbusters too, which I should check that out.
Yeah.
I said I add to the collection once in a while, like when they're a couple of bucks each or something on Green Man Gaming. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a good game. I should go back and play. But yeah, I've been like you. I'm happy to play hours on end with the boys on Fortnite.
Yep.
I reckon I've got about 3 games in me of solos before I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I had 1 or 2, and I was like, switched on Netflix or something. Started watching. What did I start watching? The guy that jumped out of the plane. Can't remember his name. It's all that money. Back in the 70s. Alright, I'm getting Netflix up now.
Well, I've actually interesting you say about shows because I haven't been feeling
DB Cooper, where are you? That's what I've been watching.
Oh, okay.
Yep. They have. They're
Oh,
still. Well, they're still looking for him. I'm only up to episode 3. I
what
keep
have
falling
I?
asleep.
What did I watch the other day? I watched. What have I watched? I watched Equalizer 2,
Oh,
the new
nice.
Mortal Kombat movie.
I haven't seen the new one. Is that on Netflix? Is it, or is it on Prime? Oh,
I watched American Made with Tom Cruise. That was an interesting one. That was a bit of a departure of the normal character he plays.
yep.
Um, it was a story about a guy who was he ended up being an FBI, like he was a courier for the big drug cartels,
Like
like
El Chapo and
yeah,
yeah.
for those guys, yeah, and like what he was doing, and yeah, interesting guy with. I won't spoil the end. I mean, if you look him up, it's a life story, so it's out
Do,
there.
do you like the old um drug lord stuff like that? Like or like do you more like the true crime sort of part of it? Is that have you ever watched Queen of the South?
No.
No, I reckon that's a good show. I think it's about like cartels and that, and
Mm.
yep.
Oh yeah, is that where the wife has to take over because the husband's killed or something?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah,
I'm pretty sure I saw shorts to that.
yep.
What else did I watch? Actually, I've been also listening to some. Did you ever watch the show Smallville with Superman?
Yeah.
Lex Luthor.
Like back when it first started. Yeah,
Yeah, so guy played Lex Luthor.
yep.
Actor's name is Michael Rosenbaum. Very good. He does a show called Inside of You, and he's had some really big names on there, but also actors where you just like the guy what's his name again? Zachary Levi. You know who that is?
The name sounds familiar, but then
Shazam.
yeah,
Plays the guy. He's Shazam
yeah.
in the movies, and he had him on, and they talk about not only like their acting, but their mental health and the struggles they've had, and like just really insightful. Like, really, like these guys on the outside look like they've got it all. And the one that shocked me the most was have you watched Reacher?
Yeah.
So the actor in that, Alan Richardson.
Is that his name? Is it?
Yeah, I think it's Alan Richardson, isn't it?
That sounds like a name of someone else as well.
Sorry, Alan Richson. It's not Richardson. It's Richson. Ritchson. And you listen to him talk about.
Alan Richardson's the Collingwood coach, is it?
Is it?
Former senior coach of the St Kilda club. Oh no, he's a coach of St Kilda. Who's the Collingwood coach now? What's his name? Fuck. I can't remember his name now either.
So he was really open about, like, he went to some dark place, and you look at that guy and you're like, wow, he's buff, he's got a successful TV show, he's married, he's got kids, and you're just like, oh. And it's good in the sense, listening to these people to realize, oh shit, you know what, like, everyone's got issues, everyone's got something that's affecting their life and their mental health and stuff like that. So I've really enjoyed watching that show. Like, it's on YouTube and it's called Inside of You, mate. And he's got some really interesting actors. He's had Stephen Amell. He's had a lot of those comic book guys. in there has got it easy, and it's like, oh, I think it depends on the actor. If it's a movie, maybe it's a little bit easier, but then these guys talk about like working, 5 or 6, 6 days in a row, and they're doing like 16, 17 hours a day, and they're meant to be keeping in shape and looking good on screen, and then trying to keep their mental health. Like, I think he was saying for Reacher, they had some ridiculously like short time to do it. I think it was like 12 weeks.
Yeah. And
he said it was just ridiculously, and by the end of it, he said I was losing my mind. So he said once, like he goes, obviously he goes, now they've done test audiences, they've already said they want to do it, because when he interviewed him, Reacher hadn't come out yet, so it hadn't become the phenomenon it was now. But he was saying like, no, we've already got season 2 going, but we've been very clear. I'm not doing it in 10. If you want 12 weeks, find another actor. I'm no way, no, I'm doing it. And they said, no, it was a one-off. They said, no, we'll definitely take a lot more time this time, and the pace will be a lot more. Because he was basically saying, like, if you watch him very closely in some of the scenes, like, he's literally sweating, and he's like, I'm like on the verge of passing out in a heap of those scenes. He goes, because I'm just absolute. Because he goes, if I'm not in front of the camera doing a scene, I'm at the back practicing a fight sequence.
And his fight sequences are pretty full on.
Oh yeah, like that prison one where he takes those guys on in the shower block. I would hate to think how many takes that took.
Yeah.
Because all it takes is one guy kind of twisting the wrong way, or like just making it blatantly obvious that it's not real, or they miss an angle, or we're going to do that again, but we're going to film it from this angle because we think it's going to look. Now, that would have been a tough. That's as much as people go, acting. Mate, it's like any job, like at the highest level. It's.
And what was that called again?
Inside of You. It's on YouTube with Michael Rosenbaum. Really interesting guy, really good. Like, I'm not, sometimes these people put on this bullshit facade of who they are, and I'm lovely, and he doesn't. He just goes, man, I'm messed up. Like, I've got issues, I've got problems, I've not been the best person in the world. But he's at the age, I think, where he appreciates. He did this amazing show back when he was young, when it comes to Smallville. I think that financially set him up. Loves music, loves being artistic, loves his acting, but then talks about how he's like, he starts first probably. The only thing I kind of don't like, he does have a lot of ads in the show, but I guess that's how he pays the bill.
Yep.
Yeah. So, first time chat from you. Oh, hello, hope he's here.
Oh, hello.
But yeah, that's him. Yep, Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Like I said, and he's got lots of different people. And he's got some pretty massive Hollywood actors in there. He's even got guys from Sons of Anarchy and like a whole bunch of people, which, just really interesting. Like, just really open about who they are and what they and. None of them really talk a lot about what they're doing, what their show's about. Like, they're not there to promote something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing I do enjoy about that. Is like I've always been a fan of Stephen Amell. Do you know who that is?
I've heard the name.
Stephen Amell's the guy who played Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he did a show called Heels, which unfortunately you've got to get a separate streaming service of, and I was just like, man, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting another just for that one show. I'll just see if I can find a way around it. But he was really interesting. Like, he had a panic attack literally on the show the second time he went on. Like, physically had a panic attack, and then he had when he come on the show, he spoke about that, and then he spoke about an incident where Team Z had got a hold of it and basically got drunk on it. He goes, what really pissed my wife off, he goes, and I want to be very clear, he goes, I didn't have a fight with my wife. He goes, I got drunk and I yelled at my wife. And he goes, and I was asked to leave the plane. And thankfully, he goes, I was not stupid and wasn't... Because normally, he goes, I just go, fuck off. Like, leave me alone. You know, when they asked him to leave the plane, but he goes, I didn't. He goes, it was like a part of my brain knew, just nod and get off. He goes, otherwise, he goes, I would have, for sure, 100% in jail. He goes, and I would have ruined my career completely. He goes, just from that one moment of, he goes, and I just couldn't handle my liquor. He goes, I just want to be very clear. I'm at fault. I'm a dickhead. I shouldn't have done what I did, but I did. You know what? I mean, it just shows I'm a human being. And then, you know, sort of spoke about all sorts of different things. And yeah, you know, but, and in that he did talk about his show called Heels, which is about the wrestling world and all that. So yeah, you know, there's some like I said, some really cool, interesting guests, and I'm just sort of slowly working my way through that. And another one that is worth, if you're into aviation, like, you know, you might like true crime. I like, oh, when did that plane crash?
Yeah, I don't mind that. Like, yeah.
Mentor Pilot, check that one out.
Mentor Pilot.
And he talks about, like, he's a pilot.
Yeah.
And he talks about, like, you'll start, and he's got a very good format. Like, he starts with, this is who the crew was, this was the day of the flight, this is what they did, this is how they prepped, this is what this is what happened at takeoff, these were the weather conditions, and, like, just systematically goes through it. And then at the end goes, this is the interesting bit, this is what happens next. This is where it goes wrong. And he explains it from a pilot perspective. And very much he says, listen, we can criticise these. Like, and there's ones where, like, he's done, which he's covered, where you going, what were the pilots thinking? Like, there was one where they literally crashed a plane. And I was thankful it was only 2 pilots flying a plane from one location to the next to get passengers. And literally, they crashed the plane because they were just absolutely they were just fucking around, like playing with it like it was a toy. Like they thought they were on flight sim.
Did they
And even then,
did he ever talk into that one that landed in the Hudson River?
There's an excellent talk on it, and it's so interesting to listen to him talk about it from a pilot's perspective and see his appreciation of what an amazing job this guy did. Because if you ever watch the movie Sully with Tom Hanks in it, and it's the story about that, they were going to try and turn around and say that those guys fucked up and that they could have actually, as soon as it happened, turned to an airport and landed. Until, luckily, Sully was an instructor and went, hold on. And like and there's a scene in the movie where they walk out and his co-pilot goes, they're going to blame us for this. They're going to say that we were dangerous. They're going to say that we should never have, landed on the Hudson. And he goes, what? He goes, hold on. And he walks back in and he goes, and they said, all the simulations. He goes, hold on. Because you're taking the human factor out of this. They go, what do you mean? They know what's about to happen. He goes, the second the engines go out, they react. Because they know it's coming. I didn't know it was coming. My co-pilot sure as shit didn't know it was coming. And you haven't factored that in. So they ended up going, oh, actually, that's a valid point. So when they redid the simulation and did a delay, I think it was sort of like 15 seconds or something. Every time the plane crashes into something. And the only way to land it safely was on the Hudson. And they unequivocally proved that had he not done everything he did in that perfect... It was absolutely... Like, it was so perfect that he rewrote. They've rewritten the procedure on how to land a plane on a water.
Yeah.
Because of he did some things that weren't in the manual. Like, for one example, they said one of the first things he did when the engines went out is they've got a button they can switch over, and it's like an auxiliary power type scenario which keeps just their instruments running. Because if the engines aren't turning, there's no power in the plane. Because they provide the electricity, because they're turning over. They're like big electricity turbines. And so when they flick a switch, yeah, they then it then turns on, it drops a little propeller, and that's like a little mini turbine, and it has enough power to do the lighting strips on the bottom of the seats for emergency exits, and enough for the cockpit to have power to run the basic instruments, like no autopilot or anything, but like they can control the plane and all and see where they're going, and the weather radar works and all the instruments work. But yeah, really, really interesting to watch him talk about it and just explain it. And you know, sort of, it's so good that even Gabe's watched it and he's like, "Oh my god, this guy's amazing! I love this show." And then he got me onto Curiosity Stream, which is, oh my god, a whole new rabbit hole. It's like $80 for a year, and oh my god, some of the documentaries on there are amazing. So yeah, definitely yeah. But what about you, brother?
I know what I'll be doing when I go to bed. I'm gonna go watch the Sully one.
Yeah, definitely go see that. Like I said, it's really good. The way he talks about, and there's another one he does that's the original Sully.
Yeah, this is the one I just posted. Is that not it? Is it?
Let me bring that up.
The one I just.
So I've got my essay written.
It's called the original Sully. So maybe I've done the wrong one.
No. Let me just have a look. No, sorry, I've got my ads going here because I'm on the flipping spuds.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, do that. Okay.
Yeah, because in the thumbnail it says the original Sully.
Oh yeah. That is not the Sully one.
Ah.
But that is even more amazing than Sully. About the pilot and what that pilot does, and then when you understand how he does it with the challenges he's got. It's the original Sully, my friend. Let me tell you, Captain Carlos Dardano.
Not only do we talk about crypto and gaming and tech.
Talk about everything. YouTube, my friend. The rabbit hole that is YouTube. But yeah, Curiosity Stream's another one. That's worth checking out, mate.
Yep.
But I'm thinking I might be up for a little bit of Fortnite tonight. What about you?
Yeah, I'm keen if you are. I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know what time you had to plan on going to bed, but
yeah, I'm going to try and actually turn up to work tomorrow. I'm actually feeling well enough to go. I should turn up. It's the end of the month, and sort of bit tough for us at the end of the month where we're trying to hit targets and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I'm going to chip in and help.
So you're going in the office or
no, I can't. I'm not allowed to go in the office. I'm not allowed to leave.
Yeah, I wasn't checking. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I can't leave the house until I think Tuesday. So Wednesday I can go back is the earliest.
Yeah.
But Gabe's back at school on Monday. Between him and the dog, I don't know how I have not killed anything. I love my son. He's been great. The dog.
And then together?
The dog and I have had moments. I did try and move him from... So at the moment he's in the back room of the living room, and he's got this like little... I've got these little square, like these foam pads down, and I've got a little, like, it was the rabbit cage that we've got him squared off in, and he's got his little house, like a portable house. and I tried to move. I got the doggy door put in, so I tried to move him into the laundry so he can go in and out. Like if you need to go to the toilet, you can go out. No problem. He was not happy. And in the following night, Amelia's like, no, we'll put him back to where he was. Obviously, look, we can't do it while we've got COVID. Let's get over that, and then we can deal with that. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, okay. Then next night, he was crying, and I'm like, your problem. I am done. Do not want to know. This is why we didn't need a dog, and da-da-da-da-da. May have had a meltdown. May have explained why I hated the damn thing at that point. Mind you, you're talking like 1 o'clock. Like, I put him in the laundry at like 9:30 at night, thinking, he'll squeal, he'll carry on. But after about an hour, maybe at the most 2, he'll calm down. Last thing I want to do is get him sleepy, put him in there, and he does it like for 2 hours, like at 11 o'clock at night, and then it's like 1, 2, 3 in the morning, and he's carrying on or whatever. It'll give him a chance to sit. No, that mofo just went nah. And then last night, then he was okay, came good. So I've put him back. And then last night, I started up watching, I think the end of The Hitman's Bodyguard 2. The wife, which as a movie on a whole, I was just like, meh. Except for the
and
Ryan Reynolds, Salma Hayek, and Samuel L. Jackson. And the whole movie was a bit like, meh, that's okay. It's alright. Look, I've got a bit of a thing for Salma Hayek. I think she's amazing for her age. Well, I'm like, oh, she's hot. And so I was watching it for that, let's be honest. And how many times Ryan Reynolds had his face buried in her boobs? It was just like, I'm thinking he's sitting there going, mate, I'm just sick of them. Get them out of the face. Anyway.
Surely not.
Wow. He's married to Blake Lively, let's be honest. She's pretty hot. Anyway, so I was like, oh yeah, whatever. Until the very last scene that just had me in tears of laughter. And then in the movie where he turns around and he thinks he's getting his, license back, which he loses in the movie. Last thing. She goes, oh, you are now finally our son. And she's like, we have adopted you. And both him and Samuel L. Jackson just turn around and going, what the fuck? And the movie just cuts there, and it's just absolute comedy gold. The rest of the movie's average, but that was comedy gold. It was the one bit that I'm like, okay, mate, all right, I can say it didn't totally waste my time. So yeah, it was good fun. I have to admit, I've probably been rewatching a couple of movies like The Equalizer and The Equalizer 2. Yeah. You ever seen those with Denzel Washington?
Yeah, I watched them both not long ago, actually.
Yeah, I like number 2. Number 2 was better than number 1.
What was number 2? Was that like the bosses?
Yeah, where his boss dies, who was his only mate. I love that hotel scene.
I'm trying to think. It's been a while since I watched it.
It's the one where he figures out the girl's been raped.
Yeah.
And drunk, and he takes her, and he comes back, and he's like, oh, your credit card bounced. And they let him in. I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. And he's like,
yeah.
And he breaks the bloke's finger.
Yeah.
And
they're all like Wall Street guys.
Yeah. And they all end up getting their asses kicked, thinking they're tough bros. And he's just like wipes the floor with them, and then walks up to the guy who's obviously paying for it all.
It was like an Uber driver, wasn't he?
Yeah, a Lyft driver. And he just breaks his fingers. And he's like, ah. He's like, are you left or right-handed? It's like, I'm like, mate, the moment he says that, you go like, mate, just don't break anything. I'm going to the cops. I'll tell them what I did. My fingers will thank me later. But anyway.
might as well wrap things up then and play
Yeah.
some Fortnite, you reckon?
I reckon you could be right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming in, Neil. Appreciate you, brother. Hopefully, we'll see everyone. Yeah, hopefully we'll see some more people next week.
Hopefully you followed.
Hopefully he followed. Indeed. Now, you and I, next week, do we want to maybe catch up and do some, or maybe do a show, but we'll do it streaming a game.
Yep, I'm keen for that.
All right. Well, we will announce that during the week, guys.
Oh, you know what we didn't? We didn't talk about PAX.
PAX, yes, in October.
Around the 7th, I think.
Yeah, 7th to the 10th? Or 7th to the 9th, I think it is.
Yeah, 7th to the 9th, yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Did we want to try and do a ECA
I think so. I know
community catch-up?
some people were talking about going on the Sunday. I haven't bought tickets yet.
I haven't either, that's why I've been holding off.
Yeah. I think everyone was referring to the Sunday with thinking about going. I'm going to talk to Lux. I know we're going to Adelaide for 2 weeks, leaving on the 10th, and we get back grand final weekend, which will be the weekend before. So.
Okay, because this is in October. When's the grand final?
It's usually like September 29th or something like that. Or maybe we don't go. 10th, 2 weeks.
We're talking AFL, not NRL.
Yeah.
No, it's Saturday the 24th September, mate. I think
so 2 weeks before. So I got 2 weeks. So yeah, I'll have time to do housework then. Do the lawn and stuff. So I might be here for 2 weeks.
That's all right. What are you off to Adelaide for? Just a holiday, or?
Yeah. Just Mum and Dad have got a new caravan. They sold their other one. They've got another one that can hold everyone. So we're just I think we're going to Port Fairy for 5 days, and then we're going to Adelaide, somewhere near a lake or near the water somewhere. We're staying there for a week, and like me and the kids and that, and might head off to, is it the Barossa Valley or something like that?
Yep.
Head up,
no, that's where you go, hey mum, dad, your grandchildren, see ya tonight. And you go off to the Barossa, mate, get yourself one of those wine tours, mate, and let me tell you, get the credit card out, because you would buy. We went years ago with Amelia, and we drove up, like literally just drove up, because it was such a cool drive. One place you might want to try and stop in is Mount Gambier. They have a steakhouse in Mount Gambier. I don't know if it's still there, but oh my God, I remember going there and going, oh my God, where's this place been all my life? It was really, really good steak. But I think like they might do cattle there, so yeah. We've got some friends of ours whose family, like I think are quite known.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the type of people that like own lots of land. But so they're but yeah, it's a very nice part of the world. But mate, that'll be a great trip. The girls will love that.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to Bubbles?
My sister-in-law's staying here. She's looking after the dog, so she'll look after Bubbles.
Okay. Bubbles will be looked after.
Yeah.
Fair enough, mate.
Yeah, well, she works for the RSPCA, so I think I couldn't have found someone better to look after it.
You realise you've told her that if it dies, it's like not good. It's not going to look good. You are going to tell her boss. Alright, brother, let's sign off and we'll go from there, man. Alright, catch you in a minute.
See you in a minute. Bye,
Take
everyone.
care, everyone. See you next week.